Hey everyone, my name's Helen Knight, and today I'm going to be interviewing one of my fantastic clients, Sandy Fox, who helps purpose driven fashion brands to grow their audience, build trust, and helps them increase their impact into the future so they can keep selling their products online. So, we're going to be asking him some really simple questions, really, but just to get his honest feedback about the program and just ask him how he got on. So, let's introduce Andy. Hi, Andy. How are you then?
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Helen. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So, do you want to just tell everyone a little bit about yourself, like where you're from, and a bit about what you've been up to?
Yeah. My name's Andy Fox. I'm from the UK, the north of England originally. Although I've been spending most of the last few years between Spain and Southeast Asia, and in Bangkok is where I first contacted with you, Helen. When I
Yeah.
was working, just starting off, I just started a new chapter in my business. Basically, I was over there in Southeast Asia to try and work some stuff out, but I was a bit unsure about what I was doing, which is when I think you and I connected through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just a really good time, wasn't it, for me, as you probably remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was sort of had some ideas, but I didn't really know what the hell I was doing. And so, yeah, it was perfect timing, basically. It was one of those really good moments. And
Oh,
so I think that was about 3 or 4 months ago, was it? Or
yeah. Yeah.
maybe a bit
So,
more now.
yeah. Well, just over 4 months ago. Yeah. So, yeah, and it's lovely to hear so many people say, "Oh, I just met you at the right moment."
Yeah, I think it was because I think you dropped me a few messages, didn't you? And then I was just, I was just trying to put some ideas together, but I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, yeah, we've chatted about this quite a lot now,
Yeah.
but yeah, it just good time. Yeah, and it got things moving for me, and we've taken it from there over the last few
Great.
months. So
Yeah. So how did you feel when we first met? Like, I know you just said, that you were obviously
yeah,
loads of ideas, like you just weren't sure where to start. What are the kind of, I don't know, what other feelings were going through your mind at the time?
I think it was kind of I had a lot of ideas, but it was a case of putting it all together. And it was also kind of vague, wasn't it? I don't know if you remember. I had like a loose idea of what I wanted to do, and I'd been working with NGO clients, and I had the idea about social enterprise, and that kind of world was something I was interested in. But I
Yeah.
didn't really think that specifically about it all. It was all kind of loose, and for example, I was thinking about working with charitable organizations, but then also with maybe like the fashion brands that, this kind of bag company, for example, that's a sustainable fashion brand in the UK. And it was all it wasn't very well connected, was it? So, in my mind, it was all kind of the same thing, but you pointed out to me that you need to become really focused on a very specific kind of audience.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that's what helped me, because I think, I had lots of ideas, and I was really in that moment where I was very enthusiastic, but it was just all a bit vague and all over the place, really. So
Yeah, that's okay. And it's really common. Like a lot of people are like that when
yeah,
you first meet
I think you
them.
were
So
saying, yeah. So
yeah. And I think it's just also just trusting yourself a bit as well. Because I think at the time you were like you'd obviously done loads of amazing work and I'd looked at everything you've been doing, but you didn't kind of like for me on the outside, I could see exactly what you should be doing because
oh
like you've done
yeah,
so much amazing stuff on that in that specific area, but you kind of didn't trust yourself for some reason. But yeah, I think it's natural, isn't it, just to be a bit kind of confused about where to start with.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's that whole thing of thinking they're all things to all people that we've spoken about as well. And when you don't want to let go of a certain audience or all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So yeah,
absolutely. So did you feel like, because I know you wanted to start growing your sort of growing the business a lot bigger than it was right now, and I know you were doing work for lots of other clients as well at the same time. So
yeah.
how did it feel? Were you just like worrying about all these other clients and what they would think, or what were you doing?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it was like chaotic. I don't know if you remember. It was basically I was always working 7 days a week on lots of low paying stuff, and when you jump in from one completely different sort of client to the other, and the markets are very different.
Mm,
Yeah, it was just draining. It was just really exhausting, and
yeah.
I wasn't charging very much, as you know. So it was just working, and I knew that that could just go on forever. And it wasn't like one day somehow I was just going to miraculously start charging lots of more, more money. It was
Yeah.
just going to go on like forever.
Yeah.
And it was hard. Yeah. It was weird to just start thinking of letting go of a lot of that stuff in order to be able to really get focused on the stuff that I wanted to do. But I do feel good about that now. I think at first that would have been quite terrifying.
Yeah,
and now I'm
absolutely.
like, yeah, I know. I've been down that path like for so many years. It's like, okay, I know exactly where that goes. So let's just, I do feel quite relaxed about it all now.
Good. Yeah.
Quite
So you feel a bit
really
more.
excited by it all, to be honest. Yeah. So
Oh, good. That's exciting. Yeah. And
yeah.
so what happened when you first started the program? How did you feel then?
That was the best. That was just what was so helpful to me, was the sort of direction that when you helped to really sort of let me know that I need to be really focused on something very specific. And I looked at a couple of things, and then I sort of landed on something that I've not done a lot of client work in that area before, but it was something I was doing for myself as a little side project. And I was like, well, I clearly love doing this thing, so why not just go all in on this?
Yeah,
and I
absolutely.
thought, I'm getting a bit older, and if I don't do that now, then when the hell am I going to do it? So that was the best thing, really. And since then, it's just helped me to really become obsessed with this very sort of narrow sort of niche.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I would never have done that. I would have just been like skipping around a few other things and doing stuff that I probably felt like I should do. Or
Yeah. But you've made some big tracks with it already, which is exciting. And I think once you kind of trust yourself and believe in yourself that you can do that, it's amazing what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's also that weird thing of thinking that I really love working on this, so how can I possibly make money off it, if that makes sense? When you just think it's almost too good to be true or something.
Yeah.
But then you're right. Yeah, I mean, when I'm speaking to the clients in that field and realizing the areas that they're struggling in, which is a lot of the stuff that we do, on the marketing side, and so I've tried to really think about that, all the stuff that I've learned because I've been in this racket now for like 19 or 20 years, and all that advertising and marketing experience that a lot of the folks in the social enterprise world haven't got that experience. So how can I just basically focus on the stuff that I know and make it more fun for me as well? Because then it just brings it all together.
Definitely.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah.
Great.
So again, so that's the main thing, really, that I think you really helped me bring all that together. So yeah, thank you very much. As I've said,
you're so welcome.
100 times.
You're so welcome. I was just going to ask you actually, what were the key things really that you felt you got out of it the most?
Yeah,
so you feel
I
like
think it was that clarity of, because everything from there, it's just helped me to everything I'm working on, even though there are a few different parts of my business, it's made me think, okay, how do I just point everything in the same direction and make it very specific? And because I quite like having that variety in the work that I'm doing on a day-to-day sort of thing, but making sure it's all going in the same direction now, rather than it was all over the place before. So
yeah.
And it's a lot more fun as well doing it. Like, obviously, it's just because it's part of something that I'm trying to build for the long term, and maybe the rest of my working life now. It's just good fun. That's what's been the main thing. So
yeah, it's nice when you can finally work on what you're really passionate about and really that you're growing something really amazing for yourself and for everyone else in the world.
Yeah, exactly. And it is that, like you say, why the hell didn't I do this 20 years ago? That's the way it goes.
Yeah, don't worry, we all live and learn.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the same, so don't worry. It definitely took me a long time to focus on what I should have been doing. So we all need help. There's no nothing bad about getting help, is there? Like, everyone needs help. So
exactly.
So what do you think? I mean, how do you feel? Or how did you feel? Let's say, how did you feel when you suddenly? I guess you probably got to that stage where you had a bit of a light bulb moment. Did you get to that stage and you thought, oh wow, I can really do a lot with this? The process that I was teaching you.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite early on, I think, really. I mean, I guess because a lot of the ideas I'd probably researched before. So I think that the work that we did really helped me to put all that together. And it also gave me the confidence to realize that I probably knew some of the stuff I've been reading, that we spoke about Christo and all the stuff that he shares, and things that, and a few books that I've read.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like reading and reading, but not actually doing anything with it. So it probably gave me the confidence speaking with you to start actually, okay, I actually do know some of this stuff, so let's just get on and do it.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing, and that's really helped me. But it's just also been putting it all together in that line. And I think if you remember the last few weeks, I was just sort of going over just the path that you helped put together in terms of how you bring it, how I would bring it all together, and then make it work in the real world on an ongoing basis. So.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's quite a simple path that you put together, and that's good to know, because that just allows me then to make it my own thing and do it with my own voice and bring in my own influences and all that kind of stuff, which again, it just makes it good fun, doesn't it? And then something that I can keep growing and working on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. And that's the main thing I took out of it, I guess, because I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely going to be how I'll build the business going forward.
Yeah, amazing. So was it like, I guess when you had that clear path and it was all the parts, we worked on all the parts and it all started to come together, was that a bit of a relief? How did you feel?
Yeah, it was just like clarity, isn't it? I mean, to me it was more just exciting in a way, because it was very simple. Once I had that in my head, obviously after we'd spoken about all the bits and, as you said, putting it all together, but then it made sense and I was like, okay, let's go from here, and then I can run with it and like I say, just make it fun and apply it to the work that I want to do.
Yeah,
because it's quite versatile, isn't it? It's a versatile approach that will work for whatever anybody's working on. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. So can I ask you what you really enjoyed the most out of the whole experience we worked together?
I think just that's the sense of that clarity in terms of helping me get into the market that I really want to work in now. That was like a really, it might sound super simple, but for whatever reason, I just never thought of that. I never thought, let's just go after what I actually want to do.
Yeah.
And it was just you putting it, I guess, everything together and like basically saying, why the hell not? Just go after it and do it. So
absolutely, yeah.
So yeah,
yourself is a
that
big
has been by far the biggest thing, I think. And then there's just been clarity, and yeah. So I keep doing this but that's how it feels. It just feels like everything's just come together in a very narrow, like a funnel, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. And just be super clear now. That's good.
Yeah, and then because it can be so much fun, and yeah, it doesn't have to be some kind of vague thing of having lots of different stuff going on.
Yeah.
And just something that's very versatile that I can adapt to, stuff that I'm going to be working on. So
yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, it's been just very exciting, and I'm really looking forward to the next few months and hopefully years, and seeing what I can do with it all. So
oh yeah, me too. I'm going to be watching everything you do.
Yeah, because there's lots of different parts of the business, but all of it comes from the stuff that we've been working on. All of it comes from working with other people, obviously. So it's it's how do you attract those people and all that kind of stuff. So
definitely.
Yeah.
So can I just ask you, I mean, some of these questions might sound a bit silly, because sometimes, when people are watching, and obviously I want to make sure that people understand that they don't have to have certain things already before they get help, because sometimes people think, I can't get help because I haven't got a big following, I haven't got a big email list or something, or like, you don't need all that stuff. So yeah, like, you don't need to be asking for referrals or do paid adverts or any of that stuff. It really doesn't matter, even if you're starting from zero, it really doesn't matter. So yeah, can you just kind of confirm that for me?
Yeah. I mean, I've not done any of that sort of stuff, doing any paid ads or any of that kind of stuff yet. So yeah, I mean, I feel that because it's something to build on as well. That's how I'm looking at it. I've just started to do it now, and then it's building from there. So yeah, and knowing that it's all going to the same, pointing in the same direction again. So it's not just some random thing that I'm doing and hoping that it might pay off one day, but it's just something I can keep adding to. And yeah,
absolutely.
So, and like everything I'm doing on my portfolio and everything that I'm now working on, that yeah, somebody might say, oh, I need to have this done beforehand, but I can add to this. Now I've got the plan together. That's what I'm literally doing this week at the moment, just adding things on. But I can keep doing that for the rest of my life. So
definitely.
So,
yeah. Sometimes people say to me, "Oh, but I need to sort out my website first, or I need to work on my portfolio first." But you don't, because if you're not clear on everything before you do that stuff, it's just a waste of time.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. So
well, that's what I'm doing now. I've got my website. It's more like a place that I want when people to come. It's full of information, basically like the stuff that I've been learning from you, to help them basically, and with my work there to show how I might help them. So it's kind of like a hub basically for people in that field to just turn up. And again, I would have never even thought about that before.
Yeah, great.
We spoke.
Done.
So
excellent. Well done. So so now that you understand, obviously you've got clarity and you understand all the foundations of what to do now to keep gaining the clients that you want using the process that I taught you. How do you feel about using that consistently? Do you feel like that's like you know what you're doing and you're quite happy with it all? How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the plan's there, so it's something I'm sure I'll refine and keep working on and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, broadly speaking, I feel comfortable with it, and just making the connections, and looking forward to meeting people, which I already am doing. As you know, I've been chatting with some folks as we were speaking, and getting to know people in that world. Which, I mean, I knew people in the broader world, but being very specific now. So it's been really helpful. And
oh, good. Yeah, because
we focus on the right kind of people.
Yeah, I was going to say it makes a big difference. You know, if you're only talking to your ideal client every day, that is such a massive leap for a lot of people. Like so many people that I talk to just have like general conversations with anyone.
Ah, right, okay,
hoping they'll get work. And it cuts down your time that it takes to grow your business massively if you're only talking to your ideal client every day. Like that is such a big.
Oh, right, okay,
big improvement. So well done.
And it's good fun because you can become quite obsessed with that world as well. And that's again, to me, that's good fun. And then that's when you can bring in the whole creative stuff as well. Because that was another thing, like a few years ago, perhaps I never really thought of being a creative. You just want to do the creative stuff, don't you? But then now it's when you learn about the business side of things, and you can then put that into actually growing the business and helping the clients, coming up with ideas for them. But I don't know if that makes sense, but to me it's the same thing now. It's the same part of the brain, I guess, I'm now using to grow the business.
Definitely.
Whereas before it felt like a chore, almost like a hassle, thinking, I've got to do all the the business stuff, which
but now you're actually enjoying it. That's good.
Really enjoying it. And I'm more looking forward to now, like, as you know, like growing the team, and I guess maybe that's partly because I'm getting a bit older and I'm looking forward to working with younger folks and hopefully helping them start their career. But that's definitely more exciting to me now than, and occasionally having the option to jump back on and do some creative work, when a project comes through. But hopefully spending more of my time now working on the business rather than at the computer every day.
Good. Well done. So exciting.
Yeah.
So obviously I want you to keep in touch and keep letting me know how you're progressing. Because it's obviously I love seeing how people progress after they've got all the tools, they've got everything they need, and they just need to keep using it and keep growing. So what would you recommend then to somebody that was maybe looking at this and wondering if they should go for it? What would you say to them?
I mean, I think, if you're at that point where, like I was, where it's just a struggle to get the clients in and all that kind of stuff, something has to change, doesn't it? And that's when you and I spoke. You can't just keep doing the same thing and hoping that some kind of miracle is going to happen and, it's going to just change your life. So, and I think if you're enthusiastic about growing your business, then it's something that, take the punts and learn some new things and because it just opens up. Even it's the idea of going very narrow into the whole niche thing. I know a lot of people get scared, don't they, about that idea, but it's just opened, to me, it feels like it just opened up a whole new world of opportunities that is actually manageable, and it's not just some like getting on the internet every day and thinking, what the hell am I going to do today to find a new client? It can be just go in and just get to know people in a very small, corner of the internet, basically.
Yeah.
And become friends and share ideas and all that kind of stuff with those people. And so, yeah, I think if you're at that point where you're not sure what to do next, I would recommend having a chat with you, Helen, and
brilliant, lovely,
and see where it goes from there, I guess. Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you so much. That's been brilliant, and I appreciate you giving your honest feedback, and very excited for you as well.
Yeah, well
done.
I'm meeting somebody in a few days over here, actually, at an event from the chap that I was that you helped me get in touch with. So so more of that stuff is on the way. So well, thank you as always, Helen. That really helps me. So.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And reach out anytime. I love talking to you.
Thank you. And I've just been putting some initial stuff together, as you've seen. But
great. All right, take care then.
But best of luck with everything, Helen. And we'll chat again, no doubt.
Take care.
See you soon. Bye bye.